kind of a basic overview of half guard in general. Then we're going to work some different positional things that I like out of here. Probably my favorite series, the Dogfight series, all right? So, half guard from just a basic definitional zone. My one leg is in between his two legs, generally hooking. There's closed half guard, shin shield half guard, and what I call knee shield half guard. This is the half guard I'm going to play from. My feet are praying. So the easiest way to describe it. Feet together. I'm not crossing my ankles, I'm just keeping them tight together. Keeps you from getting foot locked as much. My knee, I put right on his belly button. Shin shield, which is this, I feel like limits myself quite a bit. I feel like it's great for maintaining distance, especially if you're an MMA guy. Great for that. But as far as being able to attack and maintain my distance, how I want it, I like to put this just right on the belly button here. Now, I am never flat on my back in side control unless I want to be wrong. I'm always up on my side, on my hip and wrist, like this, either side. Hands are up so that I don't give up underhooks or head control here. And that's what allows me to act and do things for me. Now, I like half guard for a variety of reasons. I feel like it's a lot easier for me to sweep and hit reversals from than traditional guard. I don't know if that's just because I suck in guard or it's an option, but or if it's just what I got better at naturally. But I like this position quite a bit, especially for the series I'm going to show next. Questions on half guard just from a position? Any questions or things you run into?
Does it matter which side you do it on?
Nope, I can do it on either side. Either way, everything's the same, just metered. So, other questions on that? All right, so since I'm on this side, I'll just do the drill on this side anyway. So, we're going to use some Newton's laws here, and I'm going to maintain my distance here, kick my leg through. Now, that natural kicking motion is going to help me sit up. Equal and opposite reaction, whatever science words makes sense. Right, Pat? Yeah. Science works, right? So, as I'm here, though, I'm going to keep my hand. I will actually place it on my thigh here, because as I kick this through, I'm reaching up with this hand into that underhook position. Now, as dumb as this sounds, I'm going to stab him with my unicorn horn right in his throat. Literally, I want to be looking my head straight through his jawline here so that he doesn't crash in on top of me and smother me. So I'm using my head to keep his weight off me. Now, my hand for this position here has two options. It can come real high and reach for the opposite shoulder. I prefer to either reach for the hip or for the belt here. All right. Now, once we get to this position here, my leg that is hooked is going to go flat on the mat, and I'm going to grab his ankle with my other foot. That's going to allow me to drag his ankle out and come up to my knees with his leg in between my knees here. This is called dogfight position. If you're a wrestler, this is a single leg with a whizzer, but in jiu-jitsu we call things weird names, so dogfight. All right. So we're here, going back to reset here for the other side. I'm here, I've created my position. I kick the top leg forward to help myself up. Pop. Reaching through, grabbing either hip, belt, pants, something over here. If you prefer the more up top grip, that's fine, just not my preference. So play with that yourself. I'm here, keeping my head position in. I drag his ankle out. This foot goes to the mat. That allows me to drive in and come up to my knees here. Good wide base. Hand posted in the mat. Control the hip here. I want to stop here because it takes a second to get this motion down. So questions on this? Most of you guys who have been here more than 10 minutes have seen this position. I want to review it, get the details right, and then we're going to add some fun ones. Questions? Yes, because you're smart and know how to ask questions.
What I struggle with the most is when you're establishing the underhook and then that transition to coming up. It's right there before I can get my head to the chest up and smother me back down.
So a little bit of that is going to be timing. So just to make sure I'm hearing you right. We're here. I'm starting to come up and I'm just kind of getting smothered right here. So a couple things that are going to help you with that. One is, my knee is going to be maintaining the distance here. If he's driving on top of me here, I'm not sitting up here. I have to maintain space here. So this is to create space. But one of the other things I like to do here is I'm going to use that shin, right to kind of his belly button or solar plexus. I'm going to use that to drive him back as well. But that's going to help me come up and meet him. Now, a little bit of timing, a little bit of effort there. But that's going to help you from getting smashed as badly. Like if he's real heavy pressure here, I'm going to really struggle to come up anyway. So a little bit of that's going to be timed. But the other part of that is, even if I can't get my head position right, if I can get this back hand into the mat, I'm at least going to give myself the fighting chance. Even if I can't get my head position right, I can then start to work once I get this hand in it. Once you get this strong structure, then you can work from there.
And then you switch the feet out as much as you can.
Yep. Now, once I get up here, that's when I drag this ankle. Foot goes down, come up. All right. Questions other than that? Cat, you look like you have a question. Realize that if you're wondering 1,000 things, there's probably other people wondering 1,000
Okay,
things.
will you go back to where you pull the leg out?
Yes. I'm here. What question do you have?
I think I've already asked this. When he can't fight your leg pulling it out, right? It would hurt.
I mean, if he has a lot of really strong knee ligaments, yeah, he probably can. Is he likely to be able to, it's my hip versus his knee ligaments. That's not a fight he should win. If you're clay versus super heavyweight, maybe you do lose that one, but like, if you're the same size as them, you should be able to win.
So like he said, so if the person is pressuring down really hard, and you can't sit up, do you just bail on that, or do you keep going?
Yeah, I mean, I would work to other things if I'm not confident in that sit up at first. It may take a little bit of trickery, a little bit of other options to get yourself there. But I'm showing this as option A, obviously. Of the plethora, I can spend a year not a dishonest state.
Sometimes I struggle with, in half guard, they don't, their outside hand is on the inside of my knee here, when I'm here. So like getting that underhook is really hard.
So they're coming here and trying to like elbow clear.
Yeah.
Couple things you can do for that I like to do. One, I'll set a cross grip and act like I'm trying to foregrip here and do stuff. That's one of the easiest ways. That or give them something else to worry about with this hand. So I'll start reaching up for like a cross collar because a lot of guys will naturally bring that outside hand into frame. That's then gonna give me, a chance to come up.
So you just care more about getting around and grabbing the belt than actually the underhook.
The underhook's important, don't get me wrong. Because if I trap his arm here, here's what you're also going to realize. A lot of guys are going to fight that back and forth. So I got to get back to that underhook. But it's also not going to always happen perfectly. The ideal world and the real world we live in are two totally different. Yeah, if it's an Ogi, I'm just hitting. And realize, guys, most of the time I'm not actually grabbing gi. Very rarely, unless I'm collar choking you, the occasional sleeve grip. That's the only time I'm really heavy using it. Other questions on this? You said this is going to be the foundation of what we're working for probably the next 2 weeks, so make sure we get this right. 1, 2, so I'm here. In the half guard, good things are happening in my life, right? Boom, I set myself up here. Drag the leg out. I end up in this. For those of us who were previously wrestlers in another life, this is a single leg with a wizard. For those of you who weren't wrestlers, it's called dogfight position. A couple really good options that we're going to go over today that are just simple. Option 1 is just going to be to double off here and take the top position. So I'm here, my hand that is on the hip is going to reach for that back ankle. Now I'm going to drive into him towards his hip. So my pressure is not going across this way, it's going that way. Kind of back towards that backward 45 here. Here, my hand, as soon as it hits that ankle, reaches across, grabs his knee. I drive into him and pull his knee in. So it's equal, I'm pushing into him and pulling that leg in. Here, drive in. That should collapse him into side control for me. Now, Once I'm here, I'm going to keep my legs back, walk to side control. Boom, you're going to score 2 very nice sweep points, and if not, you're going to get card pass. One of the 2. So I'm here, boom, we're moving, we're doing stuff, boom, I set myself up. Get into this position here, and we're working. He's going to be putting pressure down. All I'm going to do, this hand reaches for that ankle. This hand shoots across to that knee. I drive him back using my head pressure. Sprawl my legs. Walk around. Side control. Then you posture up and elbow. This one's simple, but not easy. Questions?
When you're in that dogfight position, are you squeezing your knees together on his leg, or are you kind of keeping it loose?
Depends. You know, that's always the smart ass answer. But yeah, I'm normally trying to keep that leg in between my legs, unless I'm trying to bait to take his back, which is 3 levels past what most of you should be thinking. So, but most of the time, I'm trying to keep his leg in between because I've worked hard to get there. So I'm not rah pinching, but I'm also not like super wide base trying to get him to let go of it. Other. Huh? Because they don't care about going to their back. There's no, there's no advantage. Possibly. You gotta realize there's the mechanics of scoring when they hit their back or the match being over at that point doesn't happen in jiu-jitsu. So the fear of it isn't there as well. So you wouldn't get the reaction, the same reaction you would get. Why don't I go for the head? So when I'm here, right, I get here. In wrestling, there's some options to go this way. Here's the problem. I bring all my weight over his legs. He doesn't care about going to his back. I mean, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff going to start to happen here. Just off instinct, not even a technique. The instinct of that is going to get you pretty sweat. That's why I don't go. That's why it's not my first choice. Is it the wrong choice? Maybe not, but it's not my first choice. It's not my fifth choice either. I will run through those. Other questions on this?
If they hook with their leg during all that and then they end up in half guard, kind of like one of the cases, are you still getting sweep points?
Yeah, you should. All intents for yes, you should get sweep points. At worst, it's a reversal, which depending on the term it doesn't score. But because you initiated with your feet, you should get 2, and I'm going to be yelling from the corner for 2. And you're on top. You know, you take your wins where you can get them. Repping sucks some days. It just is what it is.
It's just ignorant jiu-jitsu question. I thought the sweep was you initiate your legs, it's the one motion, but isn't this like 2 different?
Yes and no. If you hang out there for 10 minutes, no, you're not going to get sweep points. If the second you come up, you start dropping, you know, if I'm here, bop, boom, I'm here, bop. That's probably going to score better than if I get up to that position, he whizzers down real hard. We roll there for 30 seconds and then I take it? No, I'm not sweeping that. But if this happens quickly, yes, sweep. The sweep points are likely not promised. Be my better answer. Other questions here? No.
Wrestler question? I'm sorry. I don't. How are sweep points scored? Because I don't know. I mean, that's for takedown points and back points. Like, what is?
So the technical definition, for those of you who don't know the sweep ruling, is anytime you go from bottom to top position initiated with leg motion.
So is it different from reversal points?
Yes. So like if I'm here, as dumb as this seems, because I've disagreed with this rule every time. If I ever create a tournament series, reversals will score. If I'm here, I sit up and just kind of power Gavin over. That is not considered a sweep, and I will score none. Dumb as shit.
Yeah.
I would argue that to the day I die. I've argued it with the head of ADCC officiating in the U.S. and lost the argument. For those of you who don't know, that's Carlos. I'm here, here. That scores. Have to use it has to be with leg engagement. The rule's written differently for every tournament. most of them say initiated or engagement of the legs. When I've read like the official rule setting, that's what it says. Do I disagree with it? Yes. Is there anything I can do to fix that other than start my own tournament series? No. So there we go.
So even if you are, like, say you're in full guard as a dominating position, if I move from bottom to top with my legs, that is still a sweep?
That's still sweet. Even if it's not like a tech, like, how does this one sound? We'll get out of the weeds here in a second. If I just run over him, that is considered a sweep. Like I said, I disagree with the reversal versus sweep designation, but until I start my own tournament series, I cannot write that rule. So.
Technical question. How long are you holding on to the foot?
Until both my knees are passed. So we'll get out of the weeds on scoring for a second. I'm here, boom, I come up. I get here, boom, I'm dropping, grabbing that ankle and that knee. Boom, I'm holding till at least here. Both of my knees are past his knees. That's going to then be when I let go. It also depends on what you're trying to do. You may hold on to it longer than that if you're trying to force something, but I would rather just take the side control, so I'm going to let go of the ankle there. Once my knees are kind of past his knees. Other questions on this?
Is there a time where you could go around too far, or you always go?
I prefer to do that. Here's why. Boom. Good things happen. I'm doing everything perfectly because I'm awesome. Boom. Here's why I don't like going to the front. The second I come walking this way, I'm walking into his guard because I have to walk past both of his legs in an advantageous position. And I'm in a natural position for him to push my head. It's going, yes, you can go that way. You've made your life exponentially hard. So is it wrong to go that way? No. There is that option. It's not the one I would choose. Yeah, you know. Is it wrong to put, barbecue sauce on ice cream? No. But, not the choice I'm going to make. All right. Questions?
Another question on score.
Scoring question.
Yeah. Sub only.
Yeah, if you want to do the real hypotheticals, yes, that is true. Really screwed up. 1, 2. I'm here. I sit up. Good things are happening. I drag the ankle out. I come up to my knees. But Gavin has wrestled before in his life, and he has the natural reaction to start putting weight through this shoulder, start just trying to bear down and try to pull me back down and just drive it. So I'm here. I'm keeping a good base. All I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to let his pressure guide me. So my hand is going to go from here, so I'm going to go right into his hip pocket. As soon as my hand passes his hip pocket, I'm going to wave. Daniel, is that like Daniel a lot? Good dude. Come right. Literally just a limp arm. What this is called. So we're here, he's driving good pressure in. I don't like it, I don't like it. Come right. Now, I'm obviously over-exaggerating that motion for a dramatic effect. But when I'm here, that's all this is, guys. I'm here, he's driving in, I'm keeping a good base. Boom, start taking the back. I always affectionately refer to this as the high mom. No, hi mom. You can come back around and grab it. Simple, but not easy. Questions on this? It's literally that. There's not a lot of technique. Your arm goes limp. It goes from here to thumb down. Come here, wave and come back. You have to be like water, my friends. Just flow. Smart. Done things before. Questions on this? Alright, drill it out. 1, 2, 3.